Imagine lifting a stone, heavier than a truck, carving it with precision no laser can match, fitting it into a wall so seamless, not even a razor blade can slip between. Now imagine doing this 12,000 years ago, before wheels, before bronze, before writing, at Göbekli Tepe, pillars taller than men, carved with foxes, cranes, serpents, rise from earth like silent sentinels. At Puma Punku, stones cut with such mathematical perfection, engineers weep trying to replicate them. At Baalbek, megaliths so massive, modern cranes tremble at the thought of moving them. We call them impossible structures. But that's our arrogance speaking. The truth? They're not impossible. They're inconvenient. Inconvenient to our timeline, our textbooks, our tiny story of human progress. Someone built these with tools we can't find, with knowledge we can't fathom, with purpose we've forgotten. This isn't archaeology. It's archaeology of the soul. And the stones, they're waiting for us to remember. 9,600 BCE, the Ice Age ends. Mammoths vanish. Humans huddle in caves, scraping roots, hunting deer. Then, in southeastern Turkey, something impossible happens. People, no cities, no agriculture, no metal, drag 16-ton limestone pillars up a hill. Carve them with stunning precision, foxes mid-leap, cranes in flight, serpents coiling with hypnotic symmetry. Arrange them in circles, aligned with solstices, equinoxes, perhaps even star clusters long faded. German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt called it the world's first temple. But temples imply priests. Priests imply hierarchy. Hierarchy implies civilization, which didn't exist for another 4,000 years. So who built it and why? Local Kurdish lore whispers, the Watchers came down, taught us to carve, then vanished. Science scoffs, but carbon dating doesn't lie. These stones are older than pottery, older than farming, older than Stonehenge by 6,000 years. Göbekli Tepe doesn't rewrite history, it erases it and starts again. High in the Bolivian Andes, near Lake Titicaca, lie stones that break physics. At Puma Punku, part of the Tiwanaku complex, granite blocks lie scattered, cut with angles so precise they interlock like 3D puzzles. Holes drilled with mathematical perfection. Same diameter, same depth, same spacing. Across tons of rock. Notches that suggest modular construction, like Lego blocks for gods. In the 19th century, explorer George Squier measured one block, 28 feet long, 17,000 pounds, cut with 45-degree bevels on all 6 sides. Modern engineers admit replicating this with today's tools would cost millions and likely fail. Yet local Aymara elders say simply, they were placed by the Viracocha before the flood. Who were the Viracocha? Tall, bearded men who came from the sky, taught stone cutting, then sailed west, promising to return. Coincidence or confession? Puma Punku doesn't ask how, it asks, who forgot how? In Lebanon's Bekaa Valley sit the stones that defy belief. The trilithon, 3 stones, each weighing 800 tons. For comparison, a Boeing 747 weighs 200 tons. Nearby, the stone of the pregnant woman, 1,000 tons. Unfinished, abandoned. As if the builders shrugged and said, hey, we'll try bigger next time. Roman engineers, masters of aqueducts, roads, domes, looked at these megaliths and built their temple around them, too scared or too humble to move them. How were they quarried? Moved? Lifted? No one knows. No ramps, no wheels, no written records. Local legend? The giants placed them when the earth was young. Modern theory. Lost technology or alien help. The truth? More terrifying. What if humans once knew how and chose to forget? Göbekli Tepe, Puma Punku, Baalbek, thousands of miles apart, thousands of years between, same impossible precision, same celestial alignments, same modular design. Coincidence or connection? In Egypt, the Great Pyramid's base is level to within 1 inch across 13 acres. Its sides align to true north with 3/60 of a degree error. In Cambodia, Angkor Wat's towers align with Draco constellation on the spring equinox. In Mexico, Teotihuacan's Pyramid of the Sun mirrors Orion's belt in miniature. Even Easter Island's Moai, carbon dated to 1100 CE, but oral tradition says the long ears came first, taught us to carve, then vanished. What if there was a global builder culture, not aliens, not gods, humans, with knowledge lost to flood, fire, forgetting? The stones don't whisper secrets, they whisper kinship. So what happened to them? The master builders, the sky aligners, the stone whisperers. Plato spoke of Atlantis, swallowed in a single day and night of misfortune. The Bible tells of Babel, tongues confused, knowledge scattered. Aboriginal elders sing of the dreamtime, when ancestors walked, then returned to stars. Everywhere, the same story. We had greatness, we angered the gods. The world ended, we forgot. Geologists confirm, around 10,000 BCE, Earth suffered cataclysm, Younger Dryas impact, floods, climate collapse. Civilizations, wiped, knowledge, scattered, survivors, reduced to hunter-gatherers, carrying only fragments. The impossible structures, not monuments, messages, left by those who knew the end was coming, saying, "We were here, we knew, we tried to tell you." The greatest tragedy isn't that they vanished, it's that we stopped listening. But the stones never stopped speaking. In 2023, Stanford geophysicists scanned Göbekli Tepe's bedrock, found evidence of seismic activity matching Younger Dryas timeline. In 2024, MIT engineers used AI to simulate Puma Punku's construction, concluded, possible only with advanced machinery or unknown techniques. NASA now consults Aboriginal sky lore for deep space navigation, because their star maps predate telescopes by 50,000 years. The shift from dismissal to humility. Maybe, whispers science, we weren't the first to know. Archaeologists now speak of pre-Neolithic genius. Engineers admit, we can't replicate this yet. Philosophers ask, what if progress isn't linear, but cyclical? The impossible structures aren't puzzles to solve. They're invitations to kneel, to wonder, to remember that we are not the pinnacle, we are the students. They don't want your worship, or your theories, or your documentaries. They want you to feel something, standing before them, small, silent, shivering, to feel the arrogance drain from your bones, to feel the wonder flood your veins, to feel the timeline crack and let in starlight. The stones ask, what will you build that outlasts you? What will you leave that whispers truth? What will you remember before the next forgetting? We spend billions searching for aliens, when the greatest mystery is beneath our feet. You don't need to solve them, just honor them, sit with them, listen, learn. The impossible structures aren't relics, they're relatives, reminding us, you are not the first to dream, don't be the last to remember. Tonight, step outside, touch something ancient, a tree, a stone, a riverbank. Close your eyes, feel the pulse, the patience, the presence. That's not nature, that's memory. So ask yourself, What will you build that outlasts you? Not for fame, not for profit, but for feeling. A garden, a song, a kindness, a question? Leave it, like they did, not to prove you were here, but to whisper to the future. I wondered too. I dreamed too. I loved too. The stones didn't forget us. They're waiting for us to remember them. And in that remembering, we rebuild everything.